This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore.
Being someone who exists online more than a normal person, more than is average, my work exists in public. I think in public, I've heard people say. It attracts criticism. I invite criticism, in fact. I invite dissent, even. I give my phone number, 714-576-4054, at the end of every single video. I give my email address, daily@dollemore.com. I invite discussion and dissent, not just echo chamber agreeance. And along with that comes some bad stuff. I talked recently about a death threat that I received from someone's own personal Facebook account, not some anonymous troll on Twitter or Instagram like I receive all the time, but personal, someone from their actual account. We got the police involved, all that's getting settled, but this is way less than that. This is someone who disagrees with me frequently, someone who calls 2-3 times a day and maxes out their allotted time on my Google phone number. It allows you to leave a 3-minute message. This particular message I'm getting ready to play, 3 minutes long, one of several from that day. They're unhappy with me. I'm evil, they say. Let me give you a little preview of what the last few words of this call are, to give you just a flavor before we play the whole thing.
So I hope you sleep well in that hospital bed, you piece of garbage. Bye.
They hope that I sleep well in my hospital bed immediately upon coming out of surgery to remove colon cancer. Sweet. It is conservative, typical behavior. So I'm going to play this message, and then we're going to come with stats. We're going to come with research. We're going to come with data related to the thing that this caller is woefully incorrect about, wildly wrong about, gleefully wrong, as you would expect of anybody who touts Tucker Carlson as a credible source of information. This person is going to call me a propagandist. They're going to say that I'm a useful idiot over and over and over and over, while not coming with the actual facts, which is to be expected from conservative, the ranks of conservative dum-dums all across the country. Let's get to the call. Here we go. Mr. Anonymous, keep that in mind. Anonymous caller doesn't leave their name, doesn't call with their phone number. It is unknown number because they are brave individuals who can't face me down with who they actually are, even though I'm right here given my own number and my own email address with my face and my real name. Here we go.
Oh, yeah, I almost forgot to address the video by your very unimpressive wife, where she was making fun of Jason Chaffetz for saying that he went to a certain city,
Philadelphia,
and that he felt unsafe. And you guys are trying to say that, oh, it's just conservatives that are all just trying to make up that there's violence in the streets, totally denying that there's a huge uptick in violent crime going on all across the United States. And why is that happening? Because of useful idiots like you guys who supported BLM, which is a sham, which is also started by Marxists, who hasn't done anything for black communities, and they've just been taking this money, raking it in, buying their own little $1 million homes and doing whatever else they do with it. And like I said, you know, self-loathing white useful idiots like you guys, you support them. It's pathetic. And so you guys pretend there isn't violence. And so this defunding the police, which Democrats are trying to move away from as this election, the midterm election comes up, they're all saying, I never said that. Oh, I'm not for that. I'm not for... Like you, Jesse, and like Dr. Fauci, always backpedaling, always making up crap when it suits your agenda. You're not honest people at all. I don't know if you read this, while you're convalescing, but the New York is adding $62 million a police boost to fight the subway violence. Oh, there is violence happening in these cities, and they're in the black communities. Guess what, Jesse? Guess what? They want more police because they found that the Democrats' stupid idea of getting rid of police has hurt them more than helped them. You get it, Jesse? It's hurt black communities more than it's helped them. Just like the Green New Deal crap that you guys are pushing down everyone's throat is hurting people. It's going to have old ladies freezing in the wintertime or not being able to afford food. Every time I go to the grocery store and have to spend more money, or when I look at my electric bill or I look at my gas bill, I think of useful idiots like you who are destroying our democracy, who think you're preserving it, who think that you're saving the earth, and think that you're so virtuous because you talk about how evil and horrible all white people are. Well, guess what? You're a white person, and I will agree with you about that. You're a horrible person, Jesse, but it's not because of the color of your skin. Because of the blackness of your heart and because of your seared conscience that you can tell all this crap and that you can destroy this country with all the propaganda that you put out and you can sleep at night. So I hope you sleep well in that hospital bed, you piece of garbage. Bye.
All right, let's tee it up, dipshit. First of all, the Democrats, this nebulous royal Democrats that you're talking about, Joe Biden from the very beginning, during the campaign, during debates, during the 2020 debates for the nomination, for the Democratic nomination for President of the United States, disavowed any involvement or commitment to put in place the Green New Deal. So it's not a Democrat policy. Green New Deal is not happening under Joe Biden. That's a fact. Joe Biden has never said we need to defund the police. Never. And what you would do, I'm not going to dwell on this, but defund the police doesn't mean take away all police and no funding for police. It means rather than send police to situations where we need mental health experts, you send mental health experts and you divert some funds from police to fund alternative community engagement resources. That's what that means. It doesn't mean get rid of all the police. And yet I am white. I don't know about self-loathing white. I get this from racist conservative dipshits, maybe like you all the time, that I have white guilt or whatever these nonsense buzzwords for your culture wars are. I'm not guilty. I don't feel guilty. Do I feel empathy? Yeah. Do I feel love for my fellow humankind? Absolutely. Do I desire to find solutions that will make our collective lives better? Yes. Now, as far as the fact that you stated, as though it's fact, that violent crime, this overwhelming crime wave, violent crime, it's just false. And I'm going to read from this Pew Research data. And we're going to jump ahead, and I'll give you a little credence that something you said is right, but in itself, it's just wrong. From this article, I'll link below, from this Pew Research article just days ago, October 31st, 2022. Violent crime is a key midterm voting issue, but what does the data say? Because we can't rely upon your little feelies, how you feel about violent crime, anonymous coward caller. We got to go to the source. We got to go to the records, to the statistics that have been gathered. While the total U.S. violent crime rate does not appear to have increased recently, we'll get to that, the most serious form of violent crime, murder, has risen significantly during the pandemic. But wait, there's more. Both the FBI and the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention reported a roughly 30% increase in the U.S. murder rate between 2019 and 2020, marking one of the largest year-over-year increases ever recorded. The FBI's latest data, as well as a provisional data from the CDC, suggests that murders continue to rise in 2021. Well, that's interesting that they report that the murder rate between 2019 and 2020 marked one of the largest year-over-year increases. I wonder who was president in 2019 and 2020. Who was it? Do you remember cowardly anonymous caller? Do you remember who was president in 2019 and 2020? Could it have been your golden god, dear leader, demigod Donald Trump? You whine and complain about the violent crime that there's no increase in. Yes, murder. For sure, the murder rate has gone up. But it was under your guy, buddy. Despite, here we go, one more little piece of data for you. Despite the increase in the nation's murder rate in 2020, the rate remained well below, excuse me, I'm losing my voice, well below past highs, and murder remains the least common type of violent crime overall. So it did spike under your guy. Now let's go to the violent crime wave that you purport is taking place. Annual government surveys from the Bureau of Justice Statistics show no recent increase in the U.S. violent crime rate. Anonymous coward. In 2021, the most recent year with available data, there were 16.5 violent crimes for every 1,000 Americans ages 12 and older. That was statistically unchanged from the year before, below pre-pandemic levels, and far below the rates recorded in the 1990s, according to the National Crime Victimization Survey. For each of the 4 violent crime types tracked in the survey, simple assault, aggravated assault, robbery and rape, and sexual assault, there was no statistically significant increase either in 2020 or 2021. Here's more from a different source. The FBI also estimates that there was no increase in the violent crime rate in 2021. What was that? The FBI says there was no increase in the violent crime rate in 2021. Then what do we make of this violent crime wave that you speak of so passionately, so confidently as though it exists when you're wrong? You goober. The other major government study of crime in the United States, the National Incident-Based Reporting System from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, uses a different methodology from the BJS survey and only tracks crimes that are reported to police. The most recent version of the FBI study shows no rise in the national violent crime rate between 2020 and 2021. That said, there is considerable uncertainty around the FBI's figures for 2021 because of a transition to the new data collection system. The FBI reported an increase in violent crime rate between 2019 and 2020 when the previous data collection system was still in place. Again, who was it? Can you, anonymous coward, can you remind me? You certainly know a lot about politics. You certainly know a lot about policy. You certainly know a lot about statistics. Remind me who was president in 2019 and 2020 when the FBI reported an increase in the violent crime rate. Who could it have been? This is why your calls primarily go unanswered. This is why I don't address the dozens of phone calls that you leave me in voicemail form. Because it is worthless information. It is the rantings of a moron. You might as well go out on the street in your underwear and tug at your little juice knob, clown boy. You'll get more attention there because you're wrong. And I have the receipts. Who's the useful idiot, sir? You and the same individual who was president in 2019 and 2020. GTFO, asswipe. If you have something you'd like to share, I'd love to hear from you. Even this dipshit. He'll continue to call. I'll continue to listen. 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. Just bring some correct information if you're going to waste your time and my time. Follow me on social media. You can tell me how wrong I am there, even though I've got the receipts. I am at Dollemore on Twitter, at Dollemore on Instagram, and at Dollemore on TikTok. If I do something for you, whether that bring you a smile or some information that you can go into your week with, please consider supporting my work. Click on the join button below, become a channel member for as little as $1.99 a month, or you can go over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Both those are great ways to help support what I do right here. And if you'd like even more of a good time, you can go subscribe to my unimpressive wife's YouTube channel. That's what the caller called her. Brittany Page's YouTube channel. I will put the link down below, but it is www.youtube.com/@BrittanyEPage. I love you guys. I will see you next time. Be genuine and take care of one another.